How did Netflix spend $320 million on this film and avoid money laundering charges?
Robots helping humans.
I know, it's nuts. No offense.
Get it all the time.
Has it ever occurred to anyone to do a film set during a war with robots? There's like 100 films about trying to avoid and stop a war with robots before it starts, and there's a few films now that are set after a war with robots. There's 6 Terminator films, and only one of them is actually set during a war with robots. Like, is there not an idea to set it during in there somewhere? The Electricstate stars Millie, Bobby Brown, Bon Jovi. My God, your name wasn't already a mouthful. And Chris Pratt, in a movie by the Russo brothers who have once again reminded us that they, like Tom Holland, should stay in the MCU. Seriously, what have they directed outside of the MCU? Yumi and Dupree, Cherry, The Grey Man, and now this. My question is, how with the resume they had at the time did they even get into the MCU? Anyway, Millie is searching for her brother after the robot war. The fighting scenes from the robot war, by the way, they all look like unfinished outtakes from Ready Player One. Doesn't matter. And Chris Pratt is the random hoarder criminal guy that she meets up with and becomes best friends with immediately, even though she destroyed his entire hoarding life. Yeah, everything. She'd ruined his life in the first 5 minutes of meeting him, and yet he, without any resistance, becomes her best friend and helps her in a war. It's not important. So basically they meet up based on their love of little robot sidekick companions, but one of them is smart-mouthed little robot sidekick companion, the other is doesn't talk properly robot sidekick companion, so that you can tell the difference. It's not Transformers. The action scenes would be better if it was. So they go to road trip together, which thankfully is only one full act of the film long, and they try to find Millie's brother, and they go out into the Lost Lands? No, the Beyond the Wall, the exclusion zone, that's it. And they spend most of the film out there, only to find out their brother's not there. They spent so much of the film there, and he's not out there. It doesn't matter. But they do find Woody Harrelson playing an animatronic peanut. This is quite a bad film, yeah. I also feel like it is kind of watchable, but this is a problem I have. I actually really like the Russo brothers' style. I loved it in the Avengers films and the Captain America and all that, but I just feel like there's something very watchable and fun and interesting about their style and about their movies. I thought the same thing with The Grey Man, and yet there's just too much shit to actually love these films. That's my problem. Like, The Grey Man, it was just so watchable and so interesting and such witty dialogue, and I loved it, and yet I didn't like it. And this, I feel the same way, although I probably like this even less. It is rough, and I know that budgets for films just keep inflating randomly, but this cost more than Infinity War, and yet it looks worse, and it can't have as much in special effects and stuff. Infinity War is like 40 minutes longer than this. And I just, the cast, like, unless Millie Bobby Brown, who is permanently contracted to Netflix, it seems, and therefore can't cost that much per film, like, unless she is somehow costing them as much as Hemsworth, Johansson, Downey, and Evans, this shouldn't cost more than Avengers Infinity War. The Electricstate is just a bad film. They call it the exclusion zone, but they should be calling it the land of conveniences, because they call it a super deadly place and face like no danger. There are just scenes where they are just wandering about this mall where all the robots live, like, and nothing is happening, even though they have like super urgent stuff to be getting on with. It's very frustrating. And they just bring in people like Kei Kwan, and he's just there for like 10 minutes, and there's just no need, and all the like famous people they brought in to voice these robots, again, just didn't feel like there was any need for that. So Netflix, bring me in. I could save you so many millions, and I would take like 1 million as payment. Just seriously, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a watchable-ish sort of film, but it feels very much to me that thing that came out recently about Netflix complaining that some of the TV shows people were making for them weren't like second screen material enough. This is the ultimate second screen blockbuster, because you do not need to pay any attention to this film to know what's going on at all times. Like, she loses her brother. Oh, he's still alive? She goes to find her brother. She finds out robots aren't evil. The white guy billionaire's evil. Oh my god. I just saved you 2 hours of your life. Like, seriously, it's rough. I'm giving almost $1 to every single American instead of making this film 2 stars. It feels like they used $300 million to create a black hole that could suck every ounce of originality out of all sci-fi films and try and, like, mash them into one AI style. And then 20 million on cocaine, I don't know. Yeah, subscribe for more Hollywood conspiracy theories.